income in child care. We will have a $15,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers, understanding that is the way and access for most families to achieve economic health and well-being that is intergenerational. That's how Joe Biden thinks about the economy. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump. Donald Trump, when asked about how's the economy doing, Donald Trump asks, well, how's the stock market doing? Donald Trump asks, how are rich people doing? Donald Trump, as his first order of business, passed a tax bill benefiting the top 1% and the biggest corporations of America, creating a $2 trillion deficit for all of us. Well, let me tell you something. When Joe and I are elected, we're about to get rid of that and invest that money in you, the American people. We will put that money in an infrastructure plan that is about the creation of millions of jobs. We will put that money into an investment in renewable energy and what we know that will do, that will not only save our planet but create jobs. We will put that money to relieve student loan debt for any kid who is coming from a family who makes less than $125,000 and ensure they go to a four-year college for free. That's what Joe and I will do. We're in the midst of a crisis, which is the long overdue reckoning on racial injustice in America. On that note, Joe Biden knows American history. He knows our history as a country, and he has the courage to speak truth about it. Joe Biden has the ability to say Black Lives Matter. Donald Trump will never speak those words. Joe Biden knows that we need to look at racial disparities in America. We need to understand Latinos and African Americans have been 3 times more likely to contract COVID and twice as likely to die from it. Joe Biden knows our indigenous brothers and sisters have the highest rate of diabetes of any population in America. Joe Biden says pay attention to this and understand a real leader will address the truth and speak the truth in a way that is about promoting equality and equity. On the other hand, you have a Donald Trump who was on that debate stage at the first debate and refused to condemn white supremacists, and then doubled down, saying, stand back and stand by. Donald Trump, who has shown a pattern from the first days he was running and questioned the legitimacy of America's first black president. Donald Trump, who, when peaceful protesters were protesting racial injustice in Charlottesville, where a young woman was killed, and on the other side, there were neo-Nazis wearing swastikas and carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic and racial slurs. Donald Trump said there were fine people on each side. He came into office talking about Mexicans as rapists and criminals. His first order of business was to pass a Muslim ban. There is a real choice in this election because, you see, Joe Biden and I understand America deserves so much more. We want a leader who is not about trying to sow hate and division. We know that the real strength of any human being is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. And that's the kind of leader Joe is. The crises we are facing, and I don't have to tell Arizona this, includes a climate crisis. The West Coast has been burning, these wildfires. You know, I've gone back, as you know, I'm from California. I've gone back. I have visited with families that have been evacuated, with firefighters who are fighting fires while their own homes are burning. My brother-in-law is a firefighter. I have seen the damage and destruction in our Gulf Coast states because of the storms that have wiped out entire communities. In the Midwest, farmers have lost whole seasons of crops because of the floods. Joe Biden says, let's deal with this. Let's face fact. Let's embrace science. Let us do it with a sense of urgency and also understand we need to set time limits. Net zero emissions by 2050. We need to set goals that include an investment in renewable energies. And guess what? That's about jobs. Millions of jobs. On the other hand, you've got a Donald Trump who, when asked about the wildfires, there was a reporter who asked him something like, you know, scientists are telling us, science is telling us that there's a connection between these extreme weather conditions and those wildfires. Will you address that? And the President of the United States, in his utter eloquence, says, science doesn't know. The President of the United States referred to science as a person. We need a president who embraces fact and speaks the truth to the American people and deals with what is one of the greatest threats to us as a species. So these are the threats. And these are the crises that we are dealing with right now. These are just some of them. And it brings me to what's happening right now across America, a process that will end in 6 days, and that's this election. And what we know is that everything is in each of our hands in terms of the power we possess through our vote and our action to determine who will be the next president of the United States. And people ask, they say, well, does it matter if I vote? Why should I vote? And I'll tell you, Tuscon, I mentioned 3 things in response to that question. 1, it's important to vote to honor the ancestors. All those people who fought, who marched for our right to vote.